Welcome to another video here on my Andrew Wasson YouTube channel. Keep in mind that my main YouTube channel is the Creative Guitar Studio YouTube channel, and that's where all my guitar lessons are and everything guitar oriented. Now, this channel I've started using as a way to just post a video a few times a month that's based around more or less the philosophy of playing. A lot of stuff is going to be on here on learning to learn, keeping yourself in a better state of mind when you're practicing and working with people and all that kind of stuff. It's going to be a broad-based bunch of categories that we're going to be looking at. And this time around, I'm going to be hitting up on something that a long time ago I got introduced to, and it's basically categorized as speed learning. Some people call it speed learning. Other people will call it accelerated learning. Back when I was going to the Musicians Institute, the Howard Roberts program that he put together for it, well, he had two actually. One of them was called the Accelerator, and then the other one he had a course called Lifemanship at the Musicians Institute. So when I went to the Musicians Institute, that was a long time ago. That was back in 1991 and 1992. So back then, before I had gone there, the teacher that I had prior to that was also a GIT graduate of the Guitar Institute of Technology, and he introduced me to this speed learning concept even before that I went to the Musicians Institute in Hollywood there. So if you're not familiar with the Howard Roberts Accelerator program, it was being taught at the Musicians Institute since the 1970s when they first opened it. But, you know, back then, I don't think very many people were aware of what the roots of it all were based in. And the roots of it come from this thing called autogenic training, or AT sometimes it's referred to. Now, if you've never heard of this, I don't think that would be too shocking because most people haven't heard of this. I'm not surprised because almost nobody I've ever met has heard of this. And basically what it's all about is it's like kind of guided relaxation efforts and techniques, like, you know, almost like kind of a bit like self-hypnosis or something. And it was developed back in 1932 by a German psychiatrist. His name was Johann, let me get this right, Johannes Heinrich Schultz was his name. You can look it up on Google. It's, you know, like, just go and do a search for autogenic training and you'll find it. Now, what it's all involving, though, let's talk about that first, because it's involving basically taking like a repeating phrase and then you kind of say it to yourself over and over again, and you kind of go into this kind of calming state of mind, and it helps a person basically focus on different areas of your body to relax you. So you could, you know, think about causing a heaviness in your muscle groups, relaxing your hands, relaxing your legs. You could, you know, bring it into your feet with like warmth, or, you know, one of the exercises is you pretend that you're seeing like beams of sunlight coming out of your palms of your hands and things like that. It's really interesting, and I know it sounds kind of crazy when you just kind of are chit-chatting about it and everything, but this type of practice, it really promotes a state of deep relaxation, and it's really caused by nothing other than just your own, you know, calm and relaxed state that you can get into yourself. Now, for musicians, you know, this can be particularly helpful in managing probably above all else performance anxiety. I've known over the years a lot of people who get really anxious before playing in front of an audience. I knew one guy that he was a really good fingerstyle acoustic player, but he used to get so scared before playing in front of people, like he'd have stomach problems and like really bad like mental state of mind. So this kind of stuff can be excellent for helping people that are in a state of mind like that, because it just relaxes you so much, and it gives you this kind of state of being in a perspective of better concentration, you can get better creative elements flowing, and it kind of makes you a little bit more self-aware about situations as well. So you don't feel so, you know, crazy if you have anxiety about playing in front of an audience. You don't feel so heightened from it, you know. Now, this whole idea behind what happens with autogenic training is it's like, what you're doing is you're relaxing yourself, so you want to find a place where you're comfortable, you know, a room without distractions, things like that. And you can incorporate it into, you know, selecting something like muscle tension, let's say, and you want to bring that down, and you can, you know, maybe select something else like slowing your heart rate, so you want to bring that down, and just maybe you want to get more controlled with a musical performance, so you start like visualizing what it would be like to play a piece perfectly, or chord a piece perfectly, stuff like that. You just, to get into this, just spend time studying the technique itself. And you can manage things, like I said, like performance anxiety or tension. It's really good for developing a sense of higher physical relaxation out of it. And to practice it, like I said, all you do is you just find a comfortable place, a chair that's really comfortable, maybe a quiet environment, and just start focusing maybe at first on your breathing. I've heard some people say that they can imagine like a clock that like you'd see in an auditorium or maybe at a basketball game or something. You just envision a clock and see it at 100 and then slowly counting down, 99, 98, 97, like that, making it all the way to 1. And by that time, or 0, if you want to go to 0, and you just kind of like think of focusing on your breathing, take slow, deep breaths, and focus basically on being relaxed. Like that's the concept of it. But you're trying to clear your mind of distractions. And this is a bad point in time that we're living in, because a lot of times, when you're working on things or you're at home and you're taking a break, what do you do? Like a lot of people, my kids do it, like, my wife will do it. Like you finish doing something and then you kick back on the couch and you just grab your phone and you're scrolling, and you're going through whatever, you're going through Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok and all this stuff. And that's not relaxing your mind, okay? That does not do anything except probably make you, your eyes tired or something, So get away from that. You want to, focus on getting that state of mind first of being relaxed, but then go into other elements, like we were talking about, making it seem like there's warmth in your body, or like one of the other ones that I learned when I was at Musicians Institute was to plant your feet firmly on the floor and then imagine your feet growing roots into the floor, or like if you're thinking about growing roots from your feet into the ground. It's this, all these kinds of visualizations and techniques of relaxing your body, and they're incredible. There was one I remember where you're thinking about holding sticks and tapping sticks and thinking about a tapped rhythm and just repeating, like almost like a mantra or something, and repeating a tapped rhythm, imagining that you've got two wooden sticks that you're tapping together. So there's a number of them, and these exercises, and they all kind of do the same thing. They put you in a little bit different state of mind, and they get you thinking differently. But I know that when I've looked up other stuff to do with this, some experts were calling it passive concentration. That was another term that I've heard. Another one you probably heard of too is self-hypnosis. But you're focusing on your body, sensations in your body, creating out of what it is you're saying to yourself, really. And you can do this like with any situation. Maybe you're anxious about a test that you have to go write for something else. Maybe you're there's a young person watching this who's like 16 and they're going to go for their driver's test and they're really nervous. Well, you could use exercises like this to completely calm yourself down, and then you will see a significant improvement. But for musicians, that when it comes to performance anxiety, this is like amazing to be able to get yourself into a completely different physical and mental headspace, and you develop a way better sense of control over what it is that you need to do. Now, what I would recommend, because I don't have the time just in one 10-minute video here or whatever to be able to tell you exercises, but I'm going to suggest that you go to a website that's been designed exclusively for this with a whole bunch of exercises. It's called autogenic, and then it's training-online.com. So autogenic-training-online.com. And I'll maybe put it at the bottom of the screen here on a lower third so you guys can go and check out the website. But that website's great. It's got a whole bunch of exercises that you can start training in on and really start putting this stuff to use. And it's fantastic for just relaxing your mind and getting into a perfect headspace for where you need to be to no longer have extreme sense of for performance anxiety. If you're recording, getting together with others for the first time to maybe rehearse, maybe jumping into a brand new band situation and you don't know anybody and you feel some anxiety. Basically any situations that you feel anxiety, this will help fantastically. So anyway, guys, I hope this helps you. I hope that you get some really good exercises out of that website, or even some of the things I've talked about here as well. So thank you for joining me on the Andrew Wasson YouTube channel. I really appreciate it. If you want to check out my guitar lessons, definitely go over to the YouTube channel. I also have a Patreon at patreon.com/Creative Guitar Studio. And I've got all my courses over at my website, the creativeguitarstudio.com website, where I've got all of my courses over there for beginners, intermediate, and advanced players, plus a whole bunch of cool electives and a ton of stuff over on that website that's totally free as well. So anyway, guys, have a wonderful week. I'll try and put up, like I said before, one of these videos every week or so. I think it's really helpful to just hear these kinds of things and learning how to, get better at focus, concentration, learning, all this stuff. I mean, if you can master this type of stuff with your own personal communication in your life, you're going to be in a really good spot. All right, guys, so have a wonderful week, and I will catch up with you next time for another edition of one of these. Basically, they're like psychological videos or psychology-based videos. So we're going to try and do more of these and encompass a lot more on the learning how to learn front. Anyway, have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now. With a free membership, you'll be able to access all the free lesson material, including a collection of 6 years of YouTube archives, where there are hundreds of videos, PDF handouts, and MP3 jam tracks. Plus, with a free membership, you'll gain access to the Quick Licks program, a 30-lesson course covering guitar licks in all playing styles across all types of scales and arpeggios. When you sign up for a paid membership, you'll get access to my core curriculum, including my beginner, intermediate, and advanced guitar programs. Plus, there's also my elective courses on the site, like acoustic guitar, guitar technique, guitar soloing, ear training, music reading, and many others. Go check it out. You're going to love it. The website is creativeguitarstudio.com.